Hey there, this is Cameron Knight, the Marketing Manager for Certum Solutions, and it's time for part 4 of our Marketing for New Businesses series. Once again, I'm putting the links to the previous videos in the description below. We ended part 3 with the definition of SMART goals and the introduction to the tactical phase with the marketing mix, or 4 Ps of marketing. The tactical phase is the continuation of asking our big question, what are we doing with the information that we have? Before we move into the measurement phase, which starts the process over by asking again, what do we know? As I said the last time, this is where we get into the nitty-gritty, the brass tacks, the real-life actions that you'll take, and we'll break this down into 4 Ps. First up is product. Think about your products or services, which should be listed somewhere in your marketing plan. After having decided our target segment in the last video, write down somewhere what they would value most about your offering and about your brand as a whole. How will you position these offerings against your competitors, whom you should also have some notes about in your plan? If you were talking to someone who represents your target segment, your new ideal customer, what reason would you give them to buy from you and not a competitor? Remembering your claims from the last video, is there anything you need to change about a product or service to better stand out against the competition according to your claims? If you're confident about your offering, let's move on. Price. Setting prices can be rather tricky. Obviously, you want to cover the cost of the product or service so that you're making a net gain. And you may be tempted to think that people will always be attracted to the lowest price you can afford to offer. Not true. Pricing should be based on the value that you want your audience to perceive of your product. The value being the sum of economical, functional, and emotional benefits. While people do love a bargain, if your brand is unknown, your prices will signal to customers where your product falls between this is the cheap option and this must be a high-end luxury product. If you offer services, consider a fixed price versus time-based pricing. A fixed price can be nice because you know how much you're going to be paid, whereas hourly pricing is more transparent to the client and it ensures that you'll be paid for your time. However, if you charge hourly for a service, your client may want you to work much faster than is realistic for your line of work. If you haven't already, do any research necessary to compare pricing from your competition and write your starting price for each product or service listed in your marketing plan. You can certainly alter these later if you need to. Place. Where are your products or services going to be available? If you're a retailer, do you have a store or are your products only available online? Do you have a warehouse? If you receive walk-in customers at your office, where are you located? Just as important nowadays, what's your website URL? Are there multiple sites where customers can access your offerings? What you want to do is describe in an organized and well thought out narrative the different pathways over which your transactions can take place. These pathways are known as distribution channels. A proper distribution channel will include how your products, physical or digital, get to your customers, how they can return a product if necessary, the platform over which you administer your services, how contracts are signed and currency is exchanged, and how you and your customer can receive any information that you need regarding the transaction. A huge goal of your distribution channel should be to present the customer with as few surprises as possible and try to create as pleasant an experience as possible for them. Promotion. When it comes to promoting your products or services, you'll really have to think about both the message and the medium. As far as the message, what's the main goal of a particular promotional effort, whether it's an ad or an email campaign or a YouTube video? Promotional goals can be broken down into different levels of awareness that you're trying to create in the market. Basic awareness is basically getting your audience to notice your brand exists. Top of mind awareness is when your target segment thinks of your category of product or service and they immediately associate it with your brand, because to them, you're the most prominent example in that category. The best possible example of this is any brand name which we now use as a common noun, like when you reach for a Kleenex that's not actually made by Kleenex, or use a Xerox machine that isn't actually made by Xerox. Informational awareness is when they know enough about your company to be able to recommend your services to someone else in need, even if they themselves haven't bought from you. Image awareness is when they immediately recognize your brand image and begin forming associations with your brand elements. A fantastic example of this would be, I think, during the Super Bowl a couple of years ago, in which a brand of nacho chips showed an entire commercial without the brand name and without their logo. Just a red bag for the nacho chips and a blue bag for the Cool Ranch chips. Lastly, behavioral awareness is kind of the end goal, where your target segment sees your ad and says, oh yes, I need that, and takes action. So the way your message is written or designed or recorded depends on your promotion goal or the level of awareness that you're trying to create. Now let's talk about the medium of your promotion. You should record some research within your plan about the different media that are available to you. Whether it's pay-per-click ads, email campaigns, snail mail, or social media. Social media is an excellent opportunity to find out what your target audience is saying about you or about your competition, or to jump into conversations with people, influencing their perception of your brand and shaping the conversation in your favor. Whichever medium you choose to promote your business with, remember that it's less about the posts that people may or may not read and more about engaging with individuals or other company accounts, adding value to the conversation, and growing your basic awareness. Once you've got your pricing models and distribution channels figured out, and you've launched your first promotional efforts, it's time to return to the question, what do we know? With the last phase of the marketing process, measurement. Many softwares that you might use for your distribution channels or your promotions, including social media apps, will provide you with some kind of data. It may take some creativity to find the best method of data wrangling, collecting all the relevant data together so you can analyze it to plan your next moves. Are you budgeting efficiently? Are your products shipping and arriving on time? Are your promotions reaching your target segment? This is an excellent opportunity to establish your key performance indicators, or KPIs. These are basically just measurements that give you a snapshot of how well your business is doing. Mark down some of these key questions in your marketing plan and form a backup plan for when those numbers don't look like you expected. Whether that's increasing your advertising budget or altering the price on a particular product or whatever will remedy the short numbers and help keep your business afloat. Along with your analytics information and your KPIs, review the information we dumped into our marketing plan during the analysis phase. And now we have a good general picture of the market as a whole and your business's position within it. Returning to the analysis phase to determine what you know, and then once again determining what to do with that information in the strategy and tactical phases is what makes this marketing process a cycle. I really hope this series was helpful to you. If so, please subscribe to our channel for more content that will be helpful to you. Regardless, let us know what you think in the comments. Is marketing a thing that you dread figuring out for your business, or do you actually enjoy this process? Let us know. Again, this is Cameron Knight, the Marketing Manager with Certum Solutions, and I hope you enjoyed this series. Thanks for watching.